Tune into the 2019 Truly Daebak Awards from January 21st to the 25th and the Fans' Choice Awards live on January 26th. Watch as we crown the best in K-pop from 2018, and be sure to cast your vote by using the link in the description below.
Everything happened in a flash. It bloomed in my heart. I call it love. What's up, everyone? It's Nate from Truly Daebak with DaebakCast, episode 104.
Good job, Cooper. Nailed it.
Good job, Cooper. And this is a K-pop podcast where 4 of us now, 3 at a time sometimes, we'll have 4 sometimes too, come together and talk about K-pop and whatever's current in the industry, as Jacob says.
What does that even mean?
K-pop entertainment. I don't know. It's just what he says. So, and this week is gonna be fun because it's Apink and Uju Sonyo, and I have light sticks. Woo. This week we're doing 2 reviews, a topic about K-pop, and then we're gonna do Cooper topic, also about K-pop. As always, I am joined by Andrew, who has 3 things.
I'm still sore from dance class. Holy shit! Like, not even like I wasn't gonna start off like that, but I'm just like moving my arm. Like, moving my arms is still sore. I'm like, holy hell. Okay, so part of my New Year's resolution was to take K-pop dance classes, because I'm going to try and take a class at 1 Million Dance Studio in Korea. So having never taken dance classes before, I want to learn so that I don't make a complete fool of myself when I'm over in Korea. So our friend DJ, who helps or teach classes at I Love Dance NYC, I took his K-pop diet dance class, and oh man, like even the warm up hurt like hell, because it's basically like Zumba and like exercising and shit. So
also you got schooled by old Filipino women.
Yes. I had no idea. I finally found, I knew I probably wasn't going to be good just because I have no experience in dance whatsoever, but I finally found out, wow, I'm really bad. Really bad. It was very hard to keep up at times, but at least I know I suck now, so then hopefully later on I'll be able to get better. But I mean, it was still a fun experience. The song that we spent most of the class trying to learn choreography for was Tempo by EXO, and I mean, the good thing is basically DJ tries to he tries to narrow down the best hits, or the best most important parts of the choreography into something you can learn in 10 minutes. So yeah, on that front it was easier, but still, for me, trying to learn choreography for the first time was really hard. So I have a long way to go. Definitely, it's gonna be a lot of sore days after, definitely. But I'm determined. I want to be able to do it when I get to Korea. Number 2, NFL playoffs are starting. So it used to be a tradition where I wouldn't shave until after the Patriots won or lost the Super Bowl. But I honestly don't think they're making to the Super Bowl this year. So I don't see any point.
You're just not even gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm not even. And also, it's just really annoying because I can't grow a mustache or a beard or anything. So it usually just ends up being a whiskers. So it's really embarrassing trying to go into work with looking like that for a good month and a half. So yeah, just I forget about it. And number 3, we have officially booked all our accommodations for Seoul and Tokyo finally. So the trip's official at this point. We pretty much have everything nailed down. We have the accommodations. Jacob has to get his passport thing. All I know is he's going
to his visa.
Yeah, he has to get his Korean visa, which I think he's going to be coming down to. He's going to be staying in my house in a couple weeks or so to take care of that. But yeah, 3 months away. That's I can't even think about it at this point now. It's yeah, I know. Too bad.
So get excited for that 14-hour flight.
Oh my god. I will either be accustomed to Korean time before I make the flight, or I will try to make myself accustomed to.
Oh, you don't even need to. It's easy going there. It's coming back that's a nightmare.
Oh, okay. Well, because I want to avoid being jet lagged, because again we only have 5 or 6 days in Seoul and Tokyo, so I
You'll
don't
be fine. You'll be fine going there. Like, basically, what I did, at least when I went to study abroad, is my flight was at like 3 p.m. and I'm pretty sure my flight this time is
my flights are at the same time.
And you'll get there like the same time the next day. So basically, if you just like don't sleep on the flight, I don't know, I can't sleep on flights, so I just didn't sleep.
Oh, that's a problem.
And then,
I knock out so easily.
Okay, so maybe that'll screw you up. For me, I can't sleep, so like I just basically got there at like 3 p.m. the next day, which was like 3 a.m. Our time, like my internal clock time, and then I just stayed up till like 7 or 8 p.m. and then just crashed, and then I was fine because like it was basically like I was up all night, and then I was so tired that I fell asleep at like 8 in the morning, but it was 8 p.m. Korea time, so it worked out, and then I just stayed that adjusted.
Yeah, because I get there on like Easter, so I don't want to like waste any of like the time or whatever.
Yeah,
too, so
but then. When you get back, you will be dead for like 2 weeks.
Oh, at least yeah. I don't know how I'm gonna like go to work for a good 3 weeks, honestly. But we'll figure that out. And before I forget, actually, just a minor thing. As always, we want people to join Discord because it's mutual lit. But actually, we finally have our first community moderator. Officially in Sam.
Congratulations, Sam.
Yeah, she is been in charge of this Discord song rating insanity, which I did not participate in because I was lost by the time we started it, and also I've just been busy with TDAs. But yeah, it's really cool to see all the stuff that our community's been doing. So yeah, we definitely had to give her the ban hammer, but not the Dan hammer. Only Cooper gets the Dan hammer.
Cooper
only from me. Yeah, shout out to Sam and everyone in the Discord. Like, I spend all my time at work in that Discord.
Don't let Target hear that.
Yeah, don't say that out loud. You're gonna get fired.
I mean, I'm always productive at work.
Always.
You just see like a red dot just on Cooper's forehead. A Target. Oh, how did I miss that? How did I miss that opportunity?
Yeah, you really screwed that up.
Oh fuck. Oh, Cooper, introduce yourself.
Also, we are joined by Cooper for his first official episode as a host, regular host. If you remember, he was on the LunaCast way back when, like 4 or 5 months ago. That was your only appearance, right?
I was on the KCON.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on KCON too. That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you recognize him from KCON and the LunaCast. But we are adding him as a regular host so that we can like switch around people and we don't all have to be available every week to host. And there'll be episodes where all 4 of us are on too, like next week with the awards. Right? Are all 4 of us on the awards? I don't remember.
Not me.
Andrew's shaking his head. Cooper won't be there. Never mind. Whatever. I'm sure at some point we'll have four people on.
Yeah.
Or 5 if we end up getting a guest.
If Umu shows up or something.
It will just be madness. So look forward to that.
Our reviews will be past 2 hours of review.
Oh my God.
Finally.
Especially if it's me and Umu. We can talk about an album like on an hour just by ourselves. So.
Yep. So eventually, Cooper, you'll need to get your own thing for your intro. But
yeah,
we don't expect you to
out.
get one ASAP or first episode 1. Granted, Jacob doesn't really have a thing. He tried to have a thing and then he lost the thing.
Yeah, he just has hashtag no blown out.
Yeah.
I was thinking like underrated boy group song of the week, maybe something like that.
Okay, please,
That'd be fun.
We need that.
I have thousands.
Let's move on to topic 1, which is Apink's % mini album review. We have Jacob's notes, so I will be reading them. When do you want me to read them at his normal? So it'll be like me, Andrew, Jacob, Cooper.
We could just read them at the end.
So that I'm going. Well, but then I'm reading 2 things in a row. Like that's what I was thinking.
No, I mean we read it after Cooper.
I know, but then I would say my stuff for the next song right after that.
Okay, fine. We'll just leave him in.
So
his
I was like
spot.
Breaking up my own talking between you two.
All right. Let's go for it.
First song is %% or Eung, which is the title track. And if you're in Discord, you know that everyone loves it. And stream
Eung.
Yeah, exactly.
Or else.
And fun fact, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Eung is because if you turn a % sign That's what it says in Korean. Like
What?
circle, line, circle is Eung.
Oh, yeah, I was
So
watching
if you turn the percent sign so it's
there's
flat,
a Korean symbol
and
that
it's
looks
a Korean
like,
symbol,
okay,
Eung.
Okay, see,
It's Eung. Like,
I can't read moon runes, so I don't know that.
so yeah, so that's where Eung comes from. But yeah, this title track, for me, it's another solid Apink song, continuing their like different direction from I'm So Sick. I really like how mysterious the song sounds with like the oohs in the background, and then the synth lines definitely got a mysterious feel to it. And on like with that synth line in the pre-chorus, like the vocal melody and the synths line up and do the same melody. I really like when songs do that. So that definitely caught my ear. I thought the music video is really cool. There's some like really cool visual effects. There, like, especially the one thing that stood out is there's a shot, I think it's like Namju and Eunji, and there's like this weird like overlay of a flower blooming, and then it cuts to Chorong and the way she's sitting with her dress around her, it's like a flower. But it's like just this weird glitchy vaporwave Andrew
Hell yeah.
effect that like
Hell yeah.
that he likes. But I thought that was really cool. And then I also liked the choreo a lot. I really liked the focus on like the hand movements during the choreo. So yeah, I loved it. Surprise, surprise, Apink stan.
Okay, so hands down, this is the best song Apink has ever released in their entire history. Like, I mean, granted, like that's my Apink exposure is very limited, so that's not saying much. But still, this just blew me away in a way that I mean, like even I'm So Sick didn't. Like I had my issues with parts of that, so that's why I didn't completely enjoy it 100%. But this song is an early frontrunner for one of like the best songs of the year. I mean, obviously it's might get knocked down in the pecking order once we get in further into 2019. But wow, just all props go to Black Eyed Pills song. They really like knocked it out of the park with both Eung and Gotta Go by Chungha. Like it's funny because both of those songs just came out like roughly around the same time, and they're both done by Black Eyed. Yeah, Black Eyed Pills song just really is just killing 2019 so far. Also, I'm really loving this trend of girl groups or like solo female artists that are really like going towards this 80s electropop sound. That's just been been a really popular trend lately, just among like obviously like Yubin or like Sunmi's messed around with it, or I really enjoy this type of music. Just particularly by myself. So yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing that sort of leak its way into the girl group side of things. So as for the actual song, I guess just the feel of it, there's the riff is just super like that dun 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 dun. It's just like the most addicting part of it. The part I especially liked was there's a section like kind of like a pre-chorus where the vocals sort of mirror that riff almost to a T, which is a nice touch. So yeah, that's probably like the most appealing part of the song. I'd say is just that riff just gets stuck in your head like it does like in mine like all the time. Like it literally, even if I'm not streaming I'm just like dun 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 dun, dun like it right in my head. So as for the music video and choreography, visually, I think it's a major improvement over what I've seen from Apink before. Just obviously the heavy use of pink definitely ties into like the name, like that's an obvious aesthetic. Really interesting sort of visual elements. Like they have this like pink handgun that's covered in like all these like big ass like gemstones or whatever. Like I don't know why, but okay, I guess that's I mean, I don't know if there's I don't think anyone like pulled the trigger or tried to shoot it, so we don't have any improper use of firearms.
Yeah.
So
well, if they were pointing it at people though.
I mean, yeah, I guess they're pointing. The thing is, you can't even see the safety though, because it's literally just like all covered in just like gems and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The choreography is great. Definitely, just it's a lot more intricate than what I usually see from. Honestly, when I usually end up seeing from Apink choreography. So it's everything about this song is just a huge step up for me. Like honestly, like again, it's like I almost don't recognize this group from what they were releasing before. Yeah. Honestly, it's such a transformation for them, and I feel like I feel like I don't know, like I've been wanting this for a while, and I don't know if maybe they've been wanting this for a while, because I mean, they're all in their like mid to late 20s ish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're around my age, maybe a little younger. I know like Ha Young's a couple of years younger, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, they can only go with an innocent concept for so long before it starts getting ridiculous. Like you're in your 30s and still talking about like "Oppa, I love you" and that sort of thing. So it was definitely time for
your
this
oppas
transition.
are 40 years old.
And I honestly don't know who my Apink bias is anymore after this. I honestly don't know, just because I love Chodong's like the twin like fishtail braid pink hair look was just incredible this comeback. So like I think like Eunji was like my main bias, but I don't know. I really don't know at this point, so I'll have to figure that out at some point. That's it.
For Jacob's notes, I'm just gonna read them verbatim. He said, absolutely fantastic choice in title track. The song blew me away. As soon as the beat dropped in the intro to the song, I knew this one would be good. What really makes this song stand out to me is how effective the build-ups are, which transition seamlessly into the following parts. This is especially evident in the build-up leading to the chorus, which punched me in the face with Eunji's catchy vocals. I didn't think they'd pull it off, but they managed to top the likes of even I'm So Sick with their own discography.
Cooper.
Okay, so this song has like taken over my life since it came out.
We thought, which is funny because the beginning of the year, Chungha took over your life.
Yeah.
And you're like just playing that nonstop, and then this came out a few days later.
Yeah, this is already like my 6th or 5th most played song ever. And,
How many Scrabbles? How many Scrabbles? Be honest.
Yeah, how many Scrabbles does it have?
104, right?
What the fuck?
That doesn't mean anything to me, but it sounds like a lot.
We're only 12 days into 2019, and you already have a song with over 100 Scrabbles.
Is that plays?
Yeah.
Like, do you get one Scrabble per play? Are they equivalent?
Yeah, yes, one.
Okay.
One equals one.
You played the song 109 times.
I played everywhere. I like walking to work, at work, in the shower. It's so versatile. But yeah, the song itself, like the first couple of times, I wasn't sure how to feel about it. But I just kept playing it. I kept watching the music video, and I was starting to get really hooked on it. It has like pretty kind of a similar structure as I'm So Sick, with like the verses being kind of like hollowed out, and then like the second half the bass drops.
Yeah,
it's like so addictive. I really like the running synth, like the kind of like chiptune, like high pitched, the one you were talking about, Andrew.
Yeah,
that one. I don't know, just, and the vocals are really weird in this song. Like, it's very aren't conventional at all, especially for a Apink song.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially the like Eunji's bridge. It's like something I've never really heard before in K-pop. Just like her melody, and then like that instrumental break at the end is great. The choreo is pretty good. I didn't get to see much of it in the music video, but the stage.
Yeah, you gotta watch the live stages.
Yeah, the stages have been great though. And I think I've settled as Bomi as my bias.
See, I didn't care all too much about Bomi at first, just because the first time we ever started paying attention to them was like the comeback was 5, and she had this horrible short haircut that like bob cut that was that's probably one of the worst K-pop haircuts I've ever seen. But now that she has long hair, she might be bias record material.
Yeah, I just started watching like Bomi fan cams and concert performances, so I think. But yeah, this
hardcore.
Song.
Oh god.
Oh, I was just saying, like, this song is easily like gonna be in my top 10 unless 2019 blows.
This is insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
if
like
2019 is incredible and this doesn't end up on the top 10, then that means there must be something else coming out. Nate, you were saying?
I'm a hardcore Apink stan. My bias is Eung.
Okay.
Bring back Eung. He hasn't been in the group for like 5 years.
Oh.
Okay, moving on to Hug Me. For this, I love the R&B beat mixed with like the 80s synths and like the funky bass line. It gives it like a really cool retro feel. And for me, like I wrote down the word obviously, but like for me, it's obvious that like Apink's vocals fit this type of song amazingly. I don't know if everyone knows it, but like go listen to the ballad and R&B versions of their old singles from the Dear album, from 2016, because there's like a R&B version of A Love and No, I think, Mr. Chu, maybe, I don't know. There's like ballad and R&B versions of a few of their like more poppy up, like their old singles that are all poppy and upbeat, and they kill it. So yeah, I liked it.
This is kind of them crashing back down to earth a bit for me, because this this sound is definitely a lot safer than something like Eung was. So it was all right, I'd say. But at least with these songs, they're just these sort of like chiller songs from Apink. It's basically just an Eunji vocal showcase, so that's not a bad thing ever.
Jacob said, it doesn't immediately stand out at first, but I love the bass and subtle guitar you can hear throughout the instrumental. They really make the song for me. The beginning starts out a bit bland, but as soon as we get into the actual main verses of the song, it picks up a lot for me. Still probably the weakest song on the album, though.
Wow. It's not his favorite song of the weakest song in the album.
It's the weakest song on the album. It's one of his favorites.
The Discord roasts him so hard over the Discord song ratings. Everything it's my favorite song or whatever.
That was so good. So this song, I kind of agree with Jacob. It didn't really stand out at first. I guess because Eung had so many like dynamic changes in it. This one kind of like felt like one note to me.
Yeah.
But it's still like a nice cool down, I guess, mid tempo. I really like the guitar in the back, and like Nathan said, like 80 synths. But yeah, not a standout track, but still pretty solid.
Yeah, I agree. Next we have What Are You Doing? And for me, the instrumental opening of like just the snaps and the distorted synth were like really good. Leads like amazingly into the vocals, like with the really experimental beat. What are you saying?
I can't snap. Like Nothing's coming.
Oh, you can't snap? Oh.
Nothing's coming.
Cooper, can you snap? Because Jacob and Andrew can't. Thank you.
Oh my god, why am I so incompetent at life?
It's okay. It's okay. I can't whistle, so it's fine.
No, I can't. Yeah, I can't whistle.
I stopped, or I used to be able to whistle, but ever since I got my wisdom teeth taken out, no, like that actually fucked with my ability to whistle.
Yeah. But yeah, back to What Are You Doing? So yeah, like I like the opening. It leads amazingly into the vocals with like the super experimental beat. I thought the chorus like brings a more standard beat. But it brings that distorted synth back, which I liked, and stopped it from just being too boring. And the bridge is utterly amazing. Like the breakdown of the synths and then the talk rapping with like the super chiptune-y synth solo. Like it's like Metroid sounding. Like it's straight out of like Metroid instrumental music, like NES stuff. That was like utterly amazing. I loved it so much.
This was produced by Tak, basically just a recurring producer on some mostly album tracks for girl groups, guy groups. He makes his way around, but he's a perfect producer to bring on to this mini album. And I feel like for the new direction that Apink's trying to go towards, he's definitely like a perfect fit for them. Because his signature sort of like synth heavy sort of electropop sound is just I'd say this is probably the strongest of the album tracks, because I feel like it ties so well together with Eung while still like being its own sort of individual sound. The thing I love the most actually isn't it surprisingly isn't like the vocals. It's just Tak loves like doing these like keyboard like synth like solos or whatever, and he like on his like mashups or his own music. So I love seeing that actually sneak its way onto a proper K-pop song, and I love how he's actually making his way to more proper K-pop producing, because I feel like he brings such a unique dynamic to K-pop music production, but again, it's just I'm still just blown away by how different of a sound this is for Apink. And I constantly keep having to tell myself, like, is this Luna or something? Like, it sounds like a completely different group than what you'd normally hear from Apink. And I'm 100% like in favor of this new direction that they're going in. I can make an Eung joke, but I don't understand. What does Eung mean? Like, what does is it just like a like it's just
the sound.
It's just the sound, right? So just I'm 100 Eung.
I think I could be wrong.
Yeah, I was watching PD's video and he said it's like a Aegyo sound.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So like we
yeah, like
wing wing.
Like begging Aegyo sound type thing.
Oh Lord.
But yeah. Jacob said, "For what are you doing?" Yeah. This one has an awesome instrumental that once again has an awesome bass line. They did a really nice job using the bass as almost like the percussion of the song, which I really liked, because in a lot of modern pop music they rely too heavily on hi-hats and other types of drums to make the sound appeal to people. So it's gotten stale at this point to me. Group vocals in the chorus really stood out to me as well.
Cooper.
Yeah, so I really liked this song more than Hug Me, so I wrote in my notes that it kind of reminded me of like a EXID B-side at times.
Yeah, definitely.
With like the funky instrumental.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also noted the amazing breakdown in the bridge. That was one of my favorite parts in the whole album. Yeah. And like the last chorus is also good with all the runs and harmonies. So I think this is definitely one of my like top 2 or top 3 on the album.
One of your favorites.
Definitely one of my favorites.
Stealing Jacob's tagline. Okay, next we have Push and Pull. For me, the funky bass line is amazing as always, which a lot of the songs on this album had. I liked how upbeat the song was, because the previous songs were more like experimental and chill, where this was like an evolution of Apink's classic stuff is kind of what it reminded me of. It also really, really reminded me, and I know a lot of people don't like it on Discord, and this is 100% the reason why. This really reminds me of a Twice B-side, and I'm like the only person that likes Twice B-sides apparently, so like...
I mean, I hate Twice
everyone
B-sides.
on Discord hates it.
But I don't hate this? I don't know.
Really? Everyone on Discord says this is the worst song easily.
Oh, what the hell? No.
Yeah.
That'd be like Hug Me.
I can't...
No, I don't know. It's another one.
I would agree with that, but I'll get to that later.
Oh my god, Spicy Cooper incoming.
But yeah, I liked it a lot.
I'd like it. I think I liked it because I didn't really get a Twice B-side vibe from it. If anything, it kind of reminded me of The Boots by Gugudan. Like, almost same key, same sort of melody and song structure in that sort of way. And also just very bass-heavy, akin to The Boots. So I did enjoy the song overall, but there's this one part that I wish they brought back. They do it in like the first like chorus or like post-chorus, but they don't bring it back afterwards. There's like a part where it's like they're like chaka chaka man, like, and it's sort of on like a descending scale, which I really enjoyed. But they didn't bring it back for the second time around because they just go straight into like the bridge or something like that afterwards. But if they brought that detail back, I think I would have enjoyed the song a bit more. Cooper.
Nope, Jacob.
Oh, Jacob. I keep thinking
completely
that's the thing, because that's why it's so weird, because
Jacob.
Jacob's not here. So I'm like,
I know, but he goes in his normal spot.
Okay.
I just didn't want to talk a bunch in a row. That was the reason I wanted to do it there. For Jacob, he said the song stylistically sounds that was alliteration all over the place. The song stylistically sounds somewhere in between what their old music sounded like and what their new music currently sounds like. The pre-chorus build up of really effectively using layered vocals and lots of percussion, which I enjoyed. The chorus is super catchy and a super high impact due to the successful build up. So he's similar to me. He feels like it's an evolution on their old style. Cooper.
So yeah, this one I really like the instrumentation on it. Like I think I heard an electric guitar somewhere in there. towards the end. I don't know. I'm still trying to cipher songs better, but yeah, the bass lines for this album are really good. And I really like the piano in the background too. The only part I didn't really enjoy as much is the chorus. Something about the vocal style they used, I guess, did remind me of a Twice song.
Yeah.
So it felt a little bit grating to me. So
because like that da da da, like it's just like it's super high.
The chorus sounds like a Twice B-side.
So like when Nayeon gets into her whiny voice a bit, that style of thing.
Yeah. So this is not one of my favorites.
Moving on to my favorite song on the album, Enough. Easily my favorite song on the album. For me, the way the song starts like really draws you in my opinion. This song is very similar, in my opinion, to Miss A's Hush, another one of my favorite songs of all time. And the reason is I really love songs like this that slowly introduce layers. That's like one of my favorite things in music, and Hush starts out the same way. It's very, very empty and slowly builds the music. And this is the same way. Like the very beginning, you get the piano line with the softer singing, then the funky guitar comes in and the singing gets harmonized, and then the big band section shows up during the pre-chorus, and like it just, the way that builds slowly is like one of my favorite things. So this was easily my favorite. I think the chorus could be a little more interesting. Yeah. But everything else makes up for it like 1,000%. So I was able to overlook the slightly standard chorus. Also, the rap part goes super hard. It might be the fastest I've ever heard Apink rap, which is awesome.
Oh yeah.
I was like, when I heard it, I was just like, what is going on? They're rapping so fast. That's not a thing Apink does. So yeah, I love this song.
Yeah, I do enjoy the chorus despite it being a bit, I don't know, repetitive, or not necessarily repetitive, but a bit bland in that sort
standard,
of way. Or yeah, just it's very run of the mill when it comes to, I guess, their style of music. But I'd say like the song doesn't have any faults in just like being, or like on the music itself. I feel like it just having both this and Hug Me just kind of felt a bit redundant in a way, because I feel like they're two similar tracks, and on a mini album that's 6 tracks long, I felt like they could have cut either one or the other. I probably prefer Enough more than I did Hug Me, so I think yeah, they could have just made cuts in favor of the more interesting track of the two. But yeah, I'd still say it's not too bad of a song otherwise, but yeah, nothing else about it just really leaped out in comparison.
For Jacob, he said he loves the way the piano plays along with the percussion. That's love with like 5 O's, by the way. Love the way the piano plays along with the percussion. I think it works super well, and when the guitar joins in with the brass in the chorus, it makes for a really impactful chorus that stood out to me as well. So that's interesting. I had the opposite. Chorong's really soft vocals stood out to me in the song as well. Probably my favorite song on the album. So he agrees with me. Surprise, surprise. We're the most compatible in the song ranking by like twice as many points as everyone else in Discord.
Yeah.
So.
So I actually like the chorus in this song. I think the more minimalistic route they went worked in its favor. The guitar is really nice, and I like the horns in the chorus as well. And I think we decided that there's like some weird pitched cowbell in this song.
Yeah.
I really like that part also throughout the song. More cowbell.
It needs more cowbell. Thank you. So many people don't understand that reference. It pisses me off.
That's because you're old.
Hey,
that's
look
like
who's talking.
That's like the best SNL skit ever.
Yeah, that's the only, like, if you had to watch like one SNL skit, it'd be that basically.
And finally, we have Memories, which in my opinion is an absolutely amazing piano ballad. When the harmonies started, I got chills, and at the end, it becomes a power ballad, and the build-up is insane. And I love when we get power ballads in K-pop, because we never get electric guitar ballads. It's very rare.
Yeah, I think this is a great way to end the mini album. Nice change of pace in comparison to the rest of the sort of like electronic synth style that they're trying to go with. So it's a good balance, and obviously Apink loves their ballads. Yeah, I mean, not much else to say other than it's a good song. Eunji obviously gets to show off her vocals again. So yeah, great way to end the mini album.
Jacob says piano-driven ballad with a little bit of R&B elementals. R&B elementals is a new RPG enemy. A little bit of R&B elements that really highlight Apink's vocal talents. Typically, Eunji is the one most talked about in vocal department, but I think everyone shines well in this song.
Yeah, so I agree. This was like the perfect closer. I think Tak made this one also.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think I've really heard of that producer before, so I'm really interested to see what they do next.
He usually does remixes.
Yeah, which are like sick ass remixes.
He got a Dreamcatcher one, right?
Yeah, he did a Dreamcatcher one. No, that was Dreamcatcher's actual producer. No,
oh yeah, that's right.
He's done twice remixes. He did a remix for Bada. Right. He got famous because he made these like. He basically took like all the popular songs of like 2015 and like 2016 and made a mashup of them, like a really like cool. I think he was inspired by Madion, who did sort of like mashup style like that. So that's where I first heard of him, and then he sort of started to, I guess that sort of put his name out there, and he started to get more offers to work on actual K-pop music. So yeah, he's been around for a while now. But yeah, I always love seeing when he pops up in K-pop album reviews like this.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's cool. But yeah, I like Nathan said at the end, I really like when all like the strings and the drums kick in. It's really nice. Really good power ballad. So yeah.
Yep. Okay, let's go to ratings. For me, this is a 10 out of 10, no question. Honestly, I think this is already a strong contender for mini album of the year. I think all the songs on this album are fantastic. And yeah, in my opinion, or like in my personal like mini album of the year, this is gonna be hard to top, I think.
So my music breakdown is, remember, I'm on a much different scale than what Nate and Jacob and the rest of you guys will operate on. So I gave it a 5.5 out of 7 for the music. I feel like, yeah, Eung is very strong, but I feel like outside of maybe like What Are You Doing and Push and Pull, I'd say that the album tracks didn't necessarily hold their weight as much in that sort of effect, which is why I couldn't give it like a 6.5 or like 7 like perfect in terms of music score. But I'd say like for me, I'd say like a 5.5 is very good, or like still a very good score. As for concept, it's a 2 out of 3. I love the choreography, as I mentioned before. I love the visual elements that they provided. I just love this new look that Apink is going for. It's just a completely it's just a complete overhaul of their image essentially, and I can't wait to, I hope this isn't their only release of the year. I want to see what else they have to offer us in the rest of 2019. So that would average out, or that would add up to a 7.5 out of 10, which again in my scale is, again, this is me not adding like the bias point. So basically like all my scores are just,
there was no
really
bias
low.
point. I loved all those songs.
Yeah,
I didn't have problems with the songs.
Yeah, so
it was 7 out of 7 for music.
Yeah, so a 7.5 for me would probably be like what I consider really a very good album. So yeah, I'd still, I would agree that this is a very just Eung on its own would probably be a contender for one of the best songs of the year.
You're on the Aiden Flixer scale, where a really good song is a 7.
Well, yeah, no, because again, like the bias point really skewed everything towards like 8 and 9, but yeah, now it's just skewing everything a bit lower. Well, hopefully that means like
joke's on you.
if everything really
The bias point didn't matter for me. Everything's still an 8 or 9 or a 10.
No, that's the thing. It's gonna be a lot harder for me to give out 10. So that means you'll know if I give something a 10, that's like God like tier for me. So what was Jacob's?
Jacob actually has like pretty detailed notes. So he said for music, he gave it a 7 out of 7. He said, although Hug Me didn't stand out as much as the other songs on the album, I don't think it's enough to take away a point because I still think it's a good song that deserves to be praised. Just had the unfortunate fate of being placed directly after Eung. That being said, every song on the album stands well on their own and will be and this will be a mini album I'll be returning to every now and again. And for concept, he gave it a 3 out of 3, so he gave it a 10 total. In the visual department, I think this release really did a good job as well. The MV is beautiful, the girls look beautiful, the choreo is impactful and memorable, and I also would like to shout out the visual design on the album art, which I think looks really cool. Closing thoughts. This release caught me by surprise. I like every song on the album, and the title track is especially addictive. This is definitely one of Apink's best releases, in my opinion. I hope they can keep this positive trend going. Cooper?
Your first ranking.
My first ranking ever.
Oh wait, no, we reviewed Luna.
No,
Luna.
Luna, yeah.
Plus.
Okay, but first official.
So for music, I gave it a 6 out of 7. I took a little bit off from Push Pull and Hug Me, even though I still overall like those, but Push and Pull especially didn't really grab me. So yeah, 6 out of 7. And then concept, I gave it 3 out of 3. I really love the music video, the choreo over Nayeon's and Bomi's hair are amazing. Yeah, so 9 out of 10 for me.
Okay,
so it's a 9.125,
which would average that'd be a 9, which would get the
9 out of 10.
truly
Daebak album.
Yeah, it's a truly Daebak album, definitely. And I think hopefully Apink. Do we know how well this is doing in Korea? Like, again, it's interesting to see just, again,
it
Apink
hasn't
pivoting.
been out long enough for...
Yeah, that's the thing. Because
I wouldn't be surprised if they win next, because they haven't been able to win yet. I don't think they've been eligible. I think they're eligible next week.
Hopefully.
So we'll see
Hopefully
if they wins.
Yeah, because the one thing that I'd be afraid of is just, again, with this... I love this drastic change, but I'm sure the hardcore like Apink stands are like, where is like all like the old school like basically they're very like adamant about keeping the sound like forever basically. So I want to see.
I'm So Sick did well.
Yeah, if hopefully if this is well received, then that'll only be reassuring to the entire concept change. So truly Daebak album.
Do you have anything to say, Cooper? You looked like you were trying
I
to say
was just looking at I was looking at the charts. It looks like it's past 10 million views on YouTube already.
Okay. That's good.
And it's like top 20 on Melon. So it's doing okay.
That's pretty good.
Because there's still a lot of competition from all the like December releases and stuff. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, at this point in Apink's career, they're not really punching on the same level as a Twice or a Blackpink or that sort of thing. So I'd say that those numbers are pretty good for I guess where they're at in their careers. So
yeah. I'm So Sick won a week or two of music shows for the most part. So we'll see if it gets something next week. I'm trying to think of who their competition is besides Uju Sonyo. And there was nothing else, was there? Anything big? Not that I can think of.
Chungha.
Well, Chungha's been winning. Chungha's already. She's got a week or two lead on them though.
Okay.
So like they're the new thing.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Well, Boa is huge in Japan, so
yeah,
it makes sense for this to be a Japanese single for sure.
Only Boa could make me like a Tropical House song. Like this is probably like one of my favorite Tropical House songs I've heard all year, which isn't saying
me too,
much.
Actually,
which isn't saying much because I really don't like all too many, but like it's excellent. The choreography is amazing.